Time jump mechanics. The theory that Grand Theft Auto 6 will feature time jumps throughout the story, showing Lucia and Jason's relationship evolve over years or even decades. Fans analyzing the leaked footage from September 2022 noticed something strange. In some clips, characters appear to be wearing distinctly different clothing styles that don't match. Some scenes show what looks like early 2010s fashion, while others feature more contemporary looks. More telling, certain shots seem to show the same characters with slightly different appearances, suggesting aging or the passage of time. Rockstar used this mechanic brilliantly in Red Dead Redemption 2, where the story jumped forward multiple times to show Dutch's gang falling apart over months and years. The theory suggests GTA 6 could do the same, letting players experience Lucia and Jason's criminal partnership from its beginning as small-time robbers all the way to running a Vice City empire. This would explain why some leaked environments look pristine and newly developed while others appear worn down. If true, this would be the first GTA game to use substantial time jumps in its main story, adding weight to decisions and showing real consequences playing out over years. The mechanic could also explain how the map might evolve, with construction projects completing and neighborhoods changing as time passes. Multiple endings based on loyalty. The theory that GTA 6's story branches based on whether Lucia and Jason stay loyal to each other or betray one another for personal gain. Rockstar has a strong history with multiple endings. Grand Theft Auto 4 offered 3 different conclusions based on a single choice. Grand Theft Auto 5 went even further with 3 distinct endings depending on Franklin's final decision. Red Dead Redemption 2 featured different outcomes based on honor. Leaked dialogue snippets suggest serious tension between Lucia and Jason, with arguments about trust and money. One clip shows what sounds like Jason questioning whether Lucia is planning something behind his back. Another has Lucia saying something about doing this alone if I have to. The theory argues that throughout the story, players will make choices that either strengthen or damage their partnership, help your partner in a tough spot, and trust builds. Prioritize money over their safety, and cracks appear. The Bonnie and Clyde inspiration adds weight to this theory. The real criminals stayed loyal until their violent end, but GTA rarely follows history exactly. Rockstar loves giving players agency over character fates. The theory suggests at least 3 endings, one where both survive by staying loyal, one where one betrays and kills the other, and one where both die in a shootout if their relationship completely falls apart. Given how central the Lucia-Jason partnership appears to be, having their relationship determine the ending makes narrative sense. Witness protection backstory. The theory that Jason is actually in witness protection, and Lucia discovers this secret, creating the central conflict of the story. This theory emerged from analyzing Jason's appearance and behavior in leaked clips. He looks remarkably clean-cut for someone supposedly deep in criminal life, almost like someone pretending to be a criminal rather than someone who lived it. Fans noticed he seems hesitant in certain situations, almost like he's out of his element. The theory suggests Jason testified against a major criminal organization, possibly in another city, and got relocated to Vice City under a new identity. He meets Lucia, who's genuinely from the criminal world, and gets pulled into actual crime to maintain his cover, or because he needs money the program won't provide. The tension comes when Lucia discovers the truth. Is he feeding information to federal agents? Is he planning to testify again? Can she trust anything about their relationship? Vice City has historical connections to federal investigations, making it a logical place for witness protection. The theory points to leaked dialogue that sounds like Jason is hiding something major, and Lucia's potential prison background would make her paranoid about informants. If true, this would create incredible dramatic tension. Every mission becomes suspicious. Every achievement feels tainted. The story could force players to decide whether Jason comes clean or Lucia discovers the truth through investigation. It would explain why someone who seems uncomfortable with violence is partnered with someone who clearly isn't. Cryptocurrency heist mission. The theory that a major heist mission will involve stealing cryptocurrency or non-fungible tokens, satirizing modern digital crime. Grand Theft Auto has always mocked contemporary culture. Grand Theft Auto 5 ridiculed Silicon Valley tech culture, social media narcissism, and reality television. By the time GTA 6 releases, cryptocurrency and blockchain technology will be even more embedded in mainstream culture, and Miami has become a major crypto hub in real life. The theory suggests a heist mission where Lucia and Jason must steal digital wallets, kidnap someone for their private keys, or infiltrate a cryptocurrency conference to access high-value accounts. The mission could mock everything from crypto bros to NFT culture to digital art scams. Instead of cracking a vault, you're cracking encryption. Instead of getaway cars, you're routing through digital wallets across multiple countries to hide the money trail. The heist could involve physically stealing hard drives, torturing someone for passwords, or social engineering a crypto mogul at his beach mansion. Miami's real-world status as a cryptocurrency hotspot makes this especially relevant. The city has hosted major crypto conferences, and wealthy crypto investors have relocated there specifically for favorable conditions. A mission. Satirizing this world fits perfectly with GTA's tradition of mocking whatever's trendy and absurd. The gameplay could offer something genuinely new. Previous heists involved banks, jewelry stores, and military equipment. A crypto heist would require different planning, different skills, and different escape strategies. Since the crime is partially digital, Hurricane Katrina-style disaster. The theory that a major hurricane will hit Vice City mid-story, permanently changing the map and creating new criminal opportunities in the chaos. Leaked footage shows what appear to be flooded streets and storm damage in certain areas. Florida is uniquely vulnerable to hurricanes, and Vice City is directly based on Miami, which has faced numerous devastating storms. The theory suggests that around the midpoint of the story, a catastrophic hurricane makes landfall. The storm becomes a major plot event, not just background atmosphere. Neighborhoods flood, buildings collapse, power goes out across sections of the map, evacuation orders create abandoned areas ripe for looting. The wealthy flee to their second homes, leaving mansions unguarded. In the aftermath, the map is permanently altered. Some areas remain flooded, requiring boats to navigate. Certain buildings are now destroyed or condemned, opening new interiors for exploration. Storm damage creates construction sites and rebuilding projects. The disaster creates new criminal opportunities. Looting becomes viable. Relief supply trucks can be hijacked. Insurance fraud missions appear. FEMA supplies meant for victims can be stolen and sold. Reconstruction contracts offer money laundering opportunities. Displaced people create refugee situations that criminal organizations exploit. This would be unprecedented for GTA. No previous game has featured a permanent map-altering event mid-story. The closest comparison is Red Dead Redemption 2's move from one region to another, but that's different. This would transform a familiar map into something new while you're still playing in it. The hurricane could also serve as a narrative reset point, destroying old power structures and forcing Lucia and Jason to rebuild their criminal network from scratch in the chaos. By the way, if you're enjoying this, I post videos like this regularly. Subscribing would really help out. Cartel War storyline. The theory that the main plot involves being caught between competing drug cartels fighting for control of Vice City's distribution networks. Miami has real historical connections to cartel violence. In the 1980s, the city became a battleground for cocaine distribution, with Colombian cartels fighting for territory. The violence was so severe that Miami briefly had the highest murder rate in America. While GTA 6 appears set in modern times, cartels still operate in Florida, just with more sophistication and less public violence. The theory suggests the story forces Lucia and Jason to navigate between multiple cartels, each demanding loyalty and offering protection. Work with the Colombians, and the Mexicans become enemies. Help the Mexicans, and you've made powerful Colombian enemies. Try to stay independent, and everyone sees you as a threat or an opportunity. Leaked footage showing warehouse locations and what appear to be drug lab interiors supports this theory. The missions could involve smuggling operations, protecting shipments, assassinating rival cartel members, or even switching sides when beneficial. The theory argues this creates moral complexity. Cartels aren't just evil organizations in this story, they're businesses with employees, families, and communities that depend on them. Choosing sides means consequences beyond just gameplay. It means affecting neighborhoods, creating collateral damage, and watching the results of your decisions play out in the open world. The Cartel War framework also explains why Lucia and Jason might need each other. Two people are harder to kill than one. They can watch each other's backs in a war where everyone is a potential target. The story could build to Lucia and Jason trying to broker peace, or, more likely, eliminating leadership from both sides to create a power vacuum they can fill. Corrupt FBI agent. The theory that a corrupt federal agent will be a major antagonist, forcing Lucia and Jason to work as informants while simultaneously committing crimes. Leaked dialogue includes what sounds like federal agent interactions, and Vice City's history with FBI involvement in drug trafficking investigations makes this plausible. The theory suggests an agent approaches Lucia and Jason early in the story with leverage, maybe evidence of a serious crime, maybe threats against family, maybe something from Lucia's prison record. The agent forces them to inform on criminal organizations while building their own criminal empire. Every piece of information they provide helps the FBI, but also eliminates competition for Lucia and Jason. They're not snitching, they're weaponizing law enforcement against rivals. The missions could involve wearing wires, planting evidence, or setting up criminals for arrest. But the twist is, the agent is corrupt, using Lucia and Jason to eliminate cartels so his own criminal network can expand. He's not cleaning up Vice City, he's consolidating control under federal protection. The gameplay would create constant tension. Which information do you give the FBI? Which crimes do you commit that they'll ignore? How do you prevent the agent from learning too much about your operation? When do you finally move against him? This theory plays with GTA's tradition of authority figures being as corrupt as criminals. It also creates a unique antagonist. He's not a rival gangster you can simply kill. He's federal law enforcement with institutional power. Eliminating him requires careful planning and evidence of his corruption. The story could build to Lucia and Jason gathering proof of his crimes, then orchestrating his downfall while framing him for everything they've done. Social media influencer satire. The theory that missions will involve helping or taking down social media influencers, satirizing modern internet culture, and Vice City's image-obsessed environment. Leaked footage clearly shows smartphones with social media interfaces, and Miami's real-world reputation as an influencer hotspot makes this perfect satire material. Grand Theft Auto has always mocked media culture. Previous games satirized television, radio, and celebrity obsession. GTA 6 will undoubtedly target social media influencers, crypto scammers, reality stars, and the performative lifestyle culture that defines modern Miami. The theory suggests multiple missions involving influencers. Maybe you provide security for an influencer event that gets attacked. Maybe you're hired to sabotage a rival influencer's content or reputation. Maybe you kidnap an influencer for ransom, only to discover they're trying to stream the whole experience for views. Maybe you help an influencer fake a robbery for content, which spirals into actual crime. The missions could mock everything from staged pranks to crypto pump and dump schemes to fake charity scams. Imagine a mission where you help an influencer fake their own death for publicity, then actual criminals think they're really dead, and complications ensue. Or a mission where an influencer's giving money to homeless people video is actually a cover for laundering cash, and you're providing the homeless people and filming the content. The gameplay integration could be interesting. Maybe social media affects your wanted level. Commit crimes on camera, and police respond faster. Maybe managing your online presence becomes a mechanic. Stay off cameras, delete evidence, or embrace infamy and let your reputation intimidate rivals. Vice City's beaches, mansions, and nightclubs are perfect backdrops for influencer culture satire. The theory fits perfectly with Rockstar's satirical tradition, while mocking something genuinely absurd about modern life: property flipping empire. The theory that a core business mechanic involves buying, renovating, and flipping properties during Vice City's real estate boom, with the twist that it's all money laundering. Leaked footage shows numerous for sale signs throughout the city, and Miami's real-world gentrification and property market explosion make this highly relevant. The theory suggests a business system deeper than previous GTA games. You purchase properties, spend money on renovations, then sell for profit. But it's not just a minigame, it's your primary method of laundering criminal proceeds. You can't just deposit millions in a bank. You need to explain where the money came from. Real estate is the answer. Buy a cheap property with dirty money, renovate it with more dirty money, sell it for clean money. The renovations create paper trails that justify your wealth. The gameplay could involve choosing which neighborhoods to target, timing the market for maximum profit, and managing multiple properties simultaneously. But there's risk. Invest too heavily in one area, and a hurricane or economic downturn destroys your investment. Flip properties too quickly, and federal investigators get suspicious. Gentrify neighborhoods too aggressively, and local criminals retaliate because you're displacing their operations. The theory suggests this connects to the story. Maybe Lucia and Jason's relationship strains when one wants to go legitimate through real estate while the other wants to stay in direct crime. Maybe their property empire becomes so successful that they're genuinely torn between continuing crime or becoming legitimate developers. Miami's real gentrification has displaced communities and created massive wealth inequality. GTA could satirize this while making it playable. You're not just a criminal, you're actively contributing to systemic problems through legal means. The properties could also serve gameplay functions. Your renovated buildings become safe houses, businesses for other criminal operations, or legitimate fronts that provide steady income. Underground fighting rings. The theory that illegal underground fighting will return as a major side activity with betting, tournament mechanics, and connections to organized crime. Leaked footage shows detailed gym interiors with boxing rings and training equipment. Florida has a massive combat sports culture, from boxing to MMA to backyard brawls. The theory suggests underground fighting is not just a minigame, but a fully developed system. You can participate as a fighter, working your way up from street fights to organized tournaments, or you can manage fighters, recruiting talent, training joining them and betting on matches, or you can run venues, organizing fights, and taking percentages from betting pools. The fighting mechanics could be deeper than previous GTA games, borrowing elements from Bully's fighting system or creating something new. Different fighting styles, training that improves stats, studying opponents to learn patterns. The betting system creates risk and reward. Bet on yourself and lose, and you're out money and reputation. Throw a fight you were supposed to win, and the wrong people get angry. The theory connects this to organized crime. Underground fighting is controlled by criminal organizations. Participating means dealing with mobsters, cartels, and corrupt promoters. Matches can be fixed, fighters can be threatened, venues can be raided. Success in fighting opens criminal opportunities, and criminal success gives you leverage in the fighting world. The tournaments could feature increasingly difficult opponents, culminating in champion fights that draw wealthy spectators and massive betting pools. Imagine a final tournament held on a yacht or private island where Vice City's criminal elite gather to watch and bet. Winning doesn't just mean money. And reputation, it means respect from people who control the city. The theory fits Rockstar's history. Fighting has appeared in multiple games, from Bully to Red Dead Redemption 2's bare-knuckle boxing. GTA 6 could expand this into a full system with real depth. If you found this worth your time, subscribe so you catch every new video. Thanks for watching.